Well, the reason for the visit to Northern Ireland was twofold. First of all, the party conference of the Democratic Unionist Party. As you know, they are the party that is propping up the Conservative government in the United Kingdom, so attending the conference assumes greater importance for that reason. And secondly, a series of other meetings with other political parties in Northern Ireland and with the Attorney General and the police to obtain a better understanding of Brexit issues. I mean, I should say, really the theme of those meetings was Brexit and borders, because Northern Ireland has a border issue, which is very much in the news at the moment, what's going to happen to that border going forward post-Brexit. And we have a border issue of our own, in the sense that both of us will have borders with the European Union once we've left the European Union. And how will those borders work? So it was very interesting to meet different people and to obtain their perspective on the issue.
Well, given the commonality of those issues, what was the reception like?
Well, I have to say the reception, first of all, in the conference where they allowed me to give a 10-minute speech on Gibraltar was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've been to many party conferences before and spoken at many party conferences before, but I had to keep on stopping because they kept on interrupting me with applause on the various points that I was raising in relation to Gibraltar. And indeed, they all stood up and gave a long-standing ovation at the end when the speech was finished. So clearly, there is a degree of sympathy and of synergy between Gibraltar and Northern Ireland. We identify with the sovereignty issue, with the desire to remain British, and with the right of people deciding their own future. I think that level of support was extremely high. The 10 members of Parliament were present throughout. The government also hosted a lunch as part of the conference. That included the leadership of the Democratic Unionist Party, including Aline Foster, who is the leader of the party and the First Minister designate. She would have been the First Minister if the power-sharing government had not collapsed a few months ago. It also included their MEP. They have one MEP in Brussels. And it included Julian Smith, who is the Conservative Chief Whip of the United Kingdom government. That again was very useful because I was able to have an aside with him and to discuss Brexit issues on the margins of the lunch. So that worked extremely well.
Well, given that the Irish border is one of the key issues that's currently holding up progression of the Brexit negotiations, what did you learn? And also, how much of what is resolved between Ireland and Northern Ireland in respect of their border can be a blueprint for Gibraltar going forward?
Well, the different political parties obviously have different objectives. So we met with the Democratic Unionist Party, with the Ulster Unionist Party, and then on the other side with Sinn Féin and with the SDLP. And obviously, I think the one commonality is that nobody wants to see a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. But the interesting thing is, because they have a common travel area for the movement of people, they see that as being the easier of two problems to resolve. The other issue, which they feel is more difficult, is a question of the customs border that the Northern Ireland leaving the European Union is going to create, and how will goods move across the border in the future without actually having a physical frontier and physical checkpoints. And I think that is a very much a live debate in Northern Ireland. It raises serious political issues for the two sides, and we need to see what solution is found going forward. Whereas in Gibraltar, the situation is almost the reverse. We are outside the customs union and have never belonged to it, so we assume that going forward, post-Brexit, that will carry on as it is, because we are not in it now. But in terms of the movement of people, I think is where the issue lies for us, and the continued frontier fluidity of tourists, of workers, and of residents, and of others across our land frontier with Spain. So there's a similarity in that the border is a primary concern, but there's a difference in that they're more concerned about the customs border and we are more concerned about the border for the movement of people.
Can you put all of that into context in respect of Gibraltar and also the other devolved nations such as Scotland and Wales?
Well, one of the positive aspects of Brexit, if I may put it that way, is the fact that it's given Gibraltar some contact with the devolved administrations, where no such contact existed before. So we've had several meetings already, as you know, with the First Minister of Scotland and with the Scottish Executive. We've met with the First Minister of Wales, Carwyn Jones, in Wales, and then he came over to Gibraltar a few months ago. And now this is the political visit, if you like, to Northern Ireland. We've had a chance to meet with the parties that would be the government of Northern Ireland if Northern Ireland had a government, and we've had a chance also to meet with the Attorney General and the police to get a flavour of the harsh reality of Brexit, or almost the hard reality of Brexit on the ground, and how that is expected to affect real people crossing a border in either direction. So it proved to be very useful, and I think it is in the context of both our meetings with the other devolved administrations and also with our participation in the party conferences of the Conservatives, Labour, Liberal Democrat and Scottish National Party, which is with the Chief Minister or I have also attended over the last couple of months.